Hi, Max from Abstract Automation here. So today, any Zoho CRM user can benefit from this video. I'm going to show you how to customize your homepage in Zoho CRM. Far too often, I see across so many businesses using Zoho CRM, they do all these elaborate customizations and they neglect to make any changes to the standard homepage. And it's what you see every day when you first log into Zoho CRM. It's what you're constantly coming back to. It's probably the most viewed page in your CRM. And if you're not taking advantage of customizing it to suit your needs, then you're really leaving a great opportunity out. I'm going to show you how you can customize your homepage with some very easy steps to follow. So we're looking at a demo system and a homepage for my user account. So on the homepage, first let's understand what can we put on a homepage. So the items that you can put on a homepage are custom list views, like these list views here, my open tasks, my meetings, those are list views, and those come from the list views in your modules. The other types of components you can add to your homepage are any of the widgets or components from your analytics or dashboards module. Okay, now there's two other options or two other types of things you can add to your homepage. I'll just show you the interface here when you go to add a component. So dashboard are your analytics widgets. Custom views are the custom views from your modules. There's two other types of things you can add to your homepages, widgets and kiosks. I'm not going to cover widgets and kiosks in this video because widgets require code and kiosks, while they don't require code, are kind of complex to set up and it's more of an administrator type of responsibility. So we're going to stick today to dashboards and custom views. All right, so let's say we would like to add a dashboard component to our homepage. There's two ways we can do it. We can go up to the top right corner, click the dots here, add a component, select dashboard, and then you can select from your various dashboards in the system that are already created, like deals in the pipeline, for example, and give it a title, which we might just call deals in pipeline, and then click save. And now we have this widget added to our dashboard. So we can also show you how to move things around in a moment. The other way you can add dashboard components is by going to your analytics area. And here's your various dashboards. So we have some deal insights dashboard, sales trend dashboard. Any of these components that you see, including the number widgets at the top, can be added to your homepage. So let's say we want to add this sales funnel to my homepage. We can do it from the homepage and just find it by name, or if we're already looking at the dashboard, we can click on the little dot next to the component and go down to the add to home option. And it tells us that the component has been successfully added to my homepage. We'll go back to my homepage. It will add new components by default all the way at the bottom. So here it is. If we would like to reorder the components on the page, we can click this dot button again, go to reorder. And then now my mouse cursor will change and it changes to a sort of a grid layout. So now I can just scroll and drag this component. Some of the components you can resize, some of them you cannot. So you'll just have to sort of play around and figure out what works best. So we might go with something like that. And then you may have to rearrange the other components to make sense here to kind of make them nice and even. All right, so we can save that. So that's how we can add dashboard components and dashboard widgets to the homepage. I use the term widgets. I should really just say components. Quite often the little KPI indicators that just show a number in the dashboard, some people do call those widgets. So next, how to add a custom view to your homepage. So what is a custom view? Custom view is when you're looking at a module list view, like here I'm looking at all the accounts in this database. This is a list view. So you have some standard list views like my accounts, all accounts, accounts created this week. Those are all public standard list views. Those can be added to your homepage, but you can also create a new custom view and add it to your homepage as well. So let's think of an example here. So out of all the accounts in my listing here, I can see that there's an account type field, and we've got some records that are customers, some accounts that are vendors, and some other options here. Let's say I want a list view to only show me customers. And let's also say I would like that to be sorted by customers most recently created. So to do this, we have to first create our custom list view and give it a name. So over here on this menu, we click the drop down, select new custom view. We give it a name. So let's say customers by create date. And then now we're going to select our criteria. So our criteria would be, in this case, we are looking where account type is equal to customer. We're just going to leave it simple like that. You can bring related modules now into your criteria. So this is something new. So you'll actually be able to do things like create a list view of all customers who currently have a deal in a particular stage, right? You used to not be able to combine criteria or combine fields across multiple modules, but this is something that Zoho CRM has introduced recently, so it's a nice feature. So in this case, we're just going to add, let's say, our creation date or created time, and you can select what fields you would like to see in the view. So the columns that we have selected on the right will end up showing from left to right on our custom view. So I want the date and time the customer was created, the customer name or account name, phone number. Let's say I would like the city and state information, and then maybe who the account owner is. In this case, so when you create a custom view, you can choose to only give access to yourself for that view, or you can allow everyone in the system to use that view, or you can select specific users to be able to use the view. If you share the view with other people, you will also have the option to lock the view. So what that means is other users can see and use this view, but they cannot change any of the attributes of the view. You are the owner of that view, and you're the only one that has full control. In this case, I'm just going to say only for me and click save. And so now I have this custom view. You can see it's showing the fields that I've selected from left to right as columns. It is also filtering out only accounts that are customers. As a matter of fact, I think I would like to add that customer column or account type column. I didn't do that. Now I could go back and edit the view, but in this case, I'm just going to go to my manage column setting on the right-hand side, and we will select the account type field. And let's say we drag that up a little bit. All right, so we can see that these two customers are the only two customer accounts in the system. All right, so now I'd like to add this view to my homepage. So let's go back to the homepage, go to the top right, buttons, add component. And in this case, we're going to select a custom view from the accounts module, and we called it customers by create date. Now, this lets you give it a different title on the homepage screen than what you originally named the view. I would say in most cases, you're going to give it a title that matches. Okay, so it's added our view to the bottom of our homepage. It's down here. Let me get this out of the way. And so now I'd like to maybe move that up towards the top. So we're going to click the dots and do another reorder here. Okay, so there's the view that we just created. So as you can see, it is very easy to create custom views and to take dashboard components and put them on your homepage. And this is a really good conversation starter for a team using the CRM, because what you might start realizing is the ideas that you have for things that you would like to see on your homepage, you may not have yet developed the system in a way that will fulfill that new wish or that new need, right? So you might realize that you're not capturing a certain piece of information, so you need to create a field. You might realize that people have not been filling in fields that are in the database that are important to these views, to the criteria, to the columns that you would like to display. And so when you do these sorts of things, it can just enhance the system as a whole, because it starts a conversation of what data should we be collecting, what's important for us to know about our leads, our customers, our prospects, and you will have a cleaner, more useful database if you start doing these sorts of things in your Zoho CRM. I hope this helps. Have a great day.